Now take up your pick. Take up your pick. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Heavy Repping. My name is John Tron Davidson, and I'm here once again in our super best fancy twin world test location in the southwest of England. So today we're going to talk about an actual technique, and that technique is hybrid picking. Now, hybrid picking comes up in a lot of music, comes up in country and rock and roll and jazz and everywhere, actually. But most importantly, it's a whole new way of approaching guitar for you if you've never tried it before. Adds little extra bits to your flat picking, adds to your songwriting, improvisation and everything else. It's also a really good way of improving your speed without having to put more out of your left hand if you're struggling with that like I do. So without further ado, I'm going to show you a couple of examples of it, and then we're going to show them at a slower speed, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Hybrid picking means using your pick in conjunction with your middle and ring fingers. Bear in mind you don't have to use two additional fingers. Any combination of pick and fingers is hybrid by definition, and it's certainly not compulsory that you use it all the time. Now, to get your head around this and how it's supposed to feel, the easiest way to get it is to take your fingers and drum them on the table. Find a rhythm that suits you and try and make it consistent. Every strike should be coming out at the same or a similar volume. So get your pick and try the same technique, but with the tip of your plectrum replacing the strike of your index finger. A gentle rolling motion is what you're after. This is the easiest thing to get a handle on, and it follows something that your fingers should find fairly natural. Remember, the very nature of hybrid picking is that it doesn't require that much force. If you play too hard with your fingers, your volume levels are going to be all over the place and you're going to find it really hard to control. Now, the general methodology for this technique is to use your pick for the lower strings and to use your fingers for the high strings. You'll find your own way of doing it, but generally having the pick for the lower strings and the fingers for the top strings means that you don't get that soft attack that you have if you play with the side of the thumb in traditional fingerstyle. Also means that you're going to be able to switch between your normal right hand flat picking techniques and fingerstyle techniques without having to change your hand position. Although we've been doing this primarily on acoustic, I'm going to apply the same technique to the electric guitar, because if you want to play at speed, it's certainly an easier way of doing it than trying to do loads of tremolo picking. I'm a big fan of using hybrid picking for open tunings particularly because it gives a lovely cascading effect with all the open strings, and it's also a really good way of picking out individual notes within a chord without strumming the whole thing and then having some incongruous note in there somewhere. What I would suggest that you do if you're interested in getting into this is to get one of these. This is a Herco. It's a 351 style flat pick with a guard. One of the things about these is because the guard is vented, so it's not straight, it's like this, it means that it's a lot more likely to fit your hand because nobody's thumbs are the same, and thumb picks tend to get made really small for some reason. But the good thing about this is it is a normal pick as well as a thumb pick, so if you want to play it like a normal pick, you can hold it like a normal pick and do all your normal pick techniques with it. That also means that you can play traditional fingerstyle, but you've got the added bonus of having more bottom end clarity and sharpness using the pick. Now over time I found this a little bit difficult because these come in way too floppy, still too floppy, almost okay, and then bone rigid, which is fine for a pick, but it kind of squeezes all the life out of your thumb, and you get a wee, what Tommy Emmanuel calls blue thumb, which is where they cut off the blood to your thumb. If you're finding as well that your cross picking is a little bit inarticulate, or that you struggle to do that under duress, either in the studio or live, learning the hybrid technique is a great way of you being able to do all that stuff, but with a lot less effort into your wrists, a lot less aggression. It's easier on your picks as well, because you're using them for just the lower strings. You're not going in as hard, you're not trying to rush yourself as much, because there's not as much movement in your hand in terms of all this. You're kind of in one place doing that. There's no real rules to how you use it, so I would encourage you to experiment. But if you follow the steps that have been detailed here, that's at least the best possible start you can have, and you'll find your own way into it, like I said. But I think it's a genuinely worthwhile technique no matter what genre of music you're in, whether you're playing math rock or whatever, because it just gives you all these other options and ways of approaching it. So I hope this was of help to you. If it was, that's cool. Just give us a like and subscribe and all the rest of it. I'll be back in due course with more information from the Plectriverse. But in the meantime, my name's JonTron Davidson. This is Heavy Repping, and I'll see you soon. So remember, if you're not sure what to do in life, rep hard and rep heavy.